So then, hey everyone, and welcome to whatever the hell we're calling it this week.
We're calling it Domain of the Curious Gaming Discussion. I guess?
Welcome to Doctgism.
Something like that.
It's an abbreviation, man. Doctgism.
DocGM. That might actually work. So,
GM. Be GD.
GM, GD.
We are the Game Masters. Are you the Key Master?
Oh, yes.
Okay, anyways. That's not going into Ghostbusters. That'll be a different podcast. All about good video games and video game movies.
Oh, yes. And the occasional interesting ones.
Oh, yeah. There's so many weird tie-ins they try to make with video games and movies. I don't understand it. Anyways.
A different subject for a different time.
Welcome to whatever the hell. Give us a name, people. Seriously, we need a name.
Yes.
What were we last week? We were Freaks World last week.
We were Words with Master Frick.
Yeah, that's
we
what
were a bit more upper crust. It was Words with Master Freak.
This week
we're a little bit more lowbrow.
Gaming discussion? With a question mark?
Exactly. For a bit of flavor. Bit of flavor flav.
But we'll hands. Okay. So let's start off with what have you been doing this week, gaming and technology wise?
Oof, gaming and technology wise. Oh, not a lot. I really should have been doing a lot more. I've been working 6 days a week, so I haven't had a lot of time to do anything.
It's understandable. I've been looking for a job.
Although there is a game I've been meaning to try out, and I'll probably make a first impressions of. I picked it up on the Steam sale, and it looked interesting. I think it was called I2.
I2.
I2. And something
like
about...
I2 or
EYE.
Okay, so
2.
I2.
Something about cybermancy. It was kind of like interesting. It was one of those odd things. It wasn't fully priced. I heard of it before. I was like, huh, it's on sale. I might as well. Yes.
Why?
Why would you do that? You knew that was gonna happen, but... So that'll probably be eventually coming up on my channel. The Worms will be uploaded sometime this week, along with a whole bunch of other crap. But you don't come here for YouTube news on what I do. What have you been doing?
What I've been, I've been playing Fable 3 and watching some game reviews. I learned that I can't do Fable 3 with you unless you have all the DLC that I have.
Aw, man. Oh, well.
And I've been making an evil female character to be the opposite of your character, and then that's just... Why would you do that if all the DLC is mostly aesthetics too, besides the quests, and you can't access those quests until after you beat the game anyways. It doesn't make sense to me. I've also been looking at Fable 1 and some of the Fable 1 mods people have made. And playing Fallout New Vegas. I was playing that along with you, and then I just kind of derailed and played it on my own.
Killed the Legion, I hope.
Oh, I killed C the first chance I get, or K's, or whatever I want to call him.
He's not very nice.
But the thing is, they only have 2 endings for me, and that's the NCR ending or the Yes Man ending. I can't figure out which one is the better ending, like which one I like more. So I'm doing all of the quests and going every single quest that the game has to offer. Going back and doing both endings to see how everything pans out after that and see which one's the better ending.
And we suddenly see why Fallout New Vegas is such a great RPG.
That
compared to most other RPGs where they don't give you this whole, here, you can do everything, but expect things to limit themselves based on what you do.
Yeah, that, and I have extreme moral gray area. So it's like,
I think that actually counts as a perk.
Is this good or is this good?
I think that ends up as a characteristic if you It's weird. You can go completely good, completely evil, or you can kind of just stick in the middle. And there's bonuses to all three.
I'm trying really hard in the game to be good, so I have to constantly reload things, because in my mind, what's good is not exactly what I'm doing that they're considering good. It's like, okay, I can't do that.
I can't just...
Because, really, in the end, there's a quest you get for one of your companions, Cass, to either take revenge on these people for killing off her caravan or reporting them to the NCR. And in my mind, in the game, you kill people anyways. You're constantly killing people because they're trying to attack you, or you see them, and in my case, I snipe everybody headshot every time. I'm awesome, thank you. In my mind, like, I know the right thing to do is probably to report them. At the same time, I'm with her and killing them all. But at the same time, I'm in the middle of a quest for one of them.
Yep.
So basically what I chose is, okay, if the inside doesn't do anything, I will kill them for you if the inside doesn't do anything. But I will kill them for you if the inside doesn't do anything. It's really hard choices for me to make, because in the game, no one's morally right if you're all killing people anyways.
Unless they're bandits, in which case you get karma! Plus karma!
Well, that's the thing is, like, the Great Khans, they can be your enemies if you, like...
Right.
But I ended up being accepted by them and convincing them to leave the Colorado instead of, you know, trying to take over and join Caesar. Then again, the only other option I had was to convince them to suicide bomb the dam. So...
Don't you just love those choices?
To convince them to leave, suicide bomb. What would the Mongols do?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Similar to what Mass Effect 1 you had to do with the Rachni, when you finally figure out that they exist against, like, let this species go that nearly killed everybody.
Oh, I let them go.
Oh, yeah, you either let them go, or you kill them.
It's like either give them a chance at a new beginning, or genocide. Kill the rest of the species right there. Do it. It's like,
well, they were thought to be dead anyway, so...
Yeah.
And there were now not enough Krogans to counteract, so there's an entire mind thought process that it's just like, huh.
The thing is with the whole moral standing in some games, it's really easy, in other games it's kind of hard. Like, in so many times in Mass Effect, I thought what I chose was the right thing. And then later I got renegade points like, oh, it didn't seem like I had a choice there. And, hi, person watching us, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
If you're wondering why I keep looking down, it's because my laptop's right there with the stream on, so I can not have anything up here on the screen.
It's nice.
Yes. I don't have two monitors anymore. It's really sad.
Yeah.
But besides that, Fable, Fallout, New Vegas, a little bit of Minecraft. Just been wanting to build stuff. So there's so many things I bought so many games during the sale.
Oh, I know.
That it's ridiculous. So many games I need it. Batman. Oh, I've been playing Batman Arkham Asylum. Game of the Year edition.
Ooh.
I don't know what the difference is.
That's the Arkham Asylum. I'm not sure either, but I think we should move on to some news, because otherwise we'll just keep on talking amongst each other. And although that's great, and that's what many people probably come here for, but
just wanted to try and get what we've been doing out of the way first.
Not a lot, unfortunately.
At the end, making it go on forever.
Yeah. So we start at the beginning, and we'll take on forever. Can't win.
No. We'll figure it out at some point.
We'll figure out an official format for this. Don't worry. So, why don't we talk about a topic we talked about last week?
Ultima.
Ultima Forever. Apparently, they do plan on having more than 2 classes. They just don't have them available yet. They're not finished yet. So they want to have all 8. They want all 8 classes in there, so they're working on that.
So Paladin's going to be a class.
What's a Paladin?
Is Avatar going to be a class?
No, because the Avatar was a fighter, if memory serves.
He could use any weapon.
Yeah, well, that's what fighters do. But
and he could use magic.
That's because he's the Avatar. It's minor difference. Minor difference. So we know a little bit more about Lady British. Apparently, she is Lord British's daughter. We didn't know we knew he had a child, but that was only through his maid. I don't remember anything between Ultimas 4 and 5 about him having a wife, or 2, a daughter.
Now, if you have a kid, if I'm remembering right, if you have a child through, at least in Old Britain, if you have an illegitimate child under royalty, that child isn't royalty.
Right.
Unless it's a male.
Yes, I think so.
So what the hell?
Well, this is also how they're trying to move on and not involve Richard Gere at all, because otherwise he has to be involved, because Lord British and Chamino are both his characters. So they have to voice Lord British.
Yeah.
So they have to do that. You
They could always make King's Quest.
Well,
King's Quest Ultima crossover.
I'm not sure BioWare's up to that, but that's what they're doing. This is supposed to be not a remake of Quest for the Avatar. It is a reboot of the series, which, I'm not particularly. I don't really have an opinion one way or another. It's good to see them using it for something, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing to be using it for.
My whole thought about it is, if people are coming from Earth, what I said last week about if you come from Earth, the Avatar, no, it's they needed a Jesus figure, so they got a guy from Earth, and he helped them a few times. Like, hey, you guy from another world, you want to be Jesus? Go do this stuff, and you can be our Jesus. That's basically what it was. So my whole thinking around it now is, why are they bringing more people from Earth over? Why can't you be from Britannia?
You're a bit too close to the problem, maybe. You're short-lived, for one. Very short-lived.
Yeah. And aren't there, like, more races you can be if you, like, were from Britannia? Because if you come from Earth, you're human.
Well,
it's not like you come from Earth and turn into a goblin, like, or elf, like, in a process.
Here's the problem with that. There's only humans in Britannia after Ultima 1, I believe.
But this is a reboot.
That's true. But then again, at this time in Britannia, there was only humans. I mean, they do want to keep some of the canon around. This is just before Ultimas 4, 5, Ultimas 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and we forget about 9.
Okay, then, if this reboot, bring back the spaceships.
Lord British is among the stars. That's all we know. So he could be off in a space journey.
No, he made a space MMO, so in my mind, he's up in space doing his stuff. And this is supposed to be a MMO about Britannia. So how about they have a crossover in spaceships in Britannia, and I can drive a Death Star.
I want to drive a Death Star.
Yeah.
You need to play some 4X strategy games, man. It's just to say, I command this fleet to kill.
The thing is, the strategy games, I spend the whole game building up an army waiting for them to attack me, and I never attack, and I just have this huge force doing nothing.
You need to attack.
If I attack, I'm not protected.
It's
true. That's why they're all there protecting my thing.
That is true, I forget about that.
Yes, I have 1 million Death Stars, but no, they're not moving at all.
They don't dare move. That is funny. What have you got? Let's pick a subject from you.
Right, so, there was an interview with somebody during... Is this the right one? During E3, about Nintendo and how Nintendo... there it is. Nintendo should become... as years go on, it should become a primary software company. And I was reading it, like, it makes sense. Because Nintendo isn't about hardware. Most of the stuff they make, their hardware is... and not... I won't say inferior, since they have less problems with their hardware.
Technologically inferior.
Yeah.
But more stable, generally, because it is technologically inferior. You've had more time to work out the bugs.
Yeah, and if you look at the Xbox and PS3, well, more so the Xboxes, when they come out, it seems like they're rushed out, and then there's so many problems, and then they gotta fix them, and people, it's like, okay. And Nintendo, they get something, they work on it for years and years and years, and make sure it is exactly the way I want it to be, and when it comes out, it usually is stronger than the competitors, but usually the competitors come out shortly afterwards with way stronger stuff. And yeah, they're not so much a hardware company. They do make hardware. They make interesting things, make stable things. I'm not going to talk about the 3DS because what the hell. And their ideas are interesting with what they make, but them becoming a software company does make sense. Like how most more of their games could become apps or just stick to handheld. But as one person commented on that article saying, wouldn't it be awesome to play Nintendo characters on Xbox or PS3? No!
No.
Mario is not... You don't use this for a Mario game.
No, you don't.
And it wouldn't feel right using one for a Mario game. I mean, if they make new characters and new stories and stuff for other consoles, okay. But another thing he said is that so far, when Miyamoto makes a perfect game in his career, he makes the game worth $200. It's worth buying a system for. As long as they have Miyamoto making games, it's worth buying a new system to play his game, because Miyamoto's games are just so
Miyamoto
good.
is one of those game designers that can just make a good game. And no matter what, he can't fail to make a good game. He made... Yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto, I believe he was behind Pikmin 1, 2, and 3. And so we know Pikmin 3 is coming out. That's worth your price of your system right there. He's also majorly behind both Mario and Zelda's. So
Yeah.
he's like these are the big franchises on which Nintendo has built, which you can't. These sequels, for some odd reason, don't suffer from what a lot of games do. It's called sequelitis. For some odd reason, when Miyamoto makes one of these sequels, it doesn't suffer from that.
Well, some of the Zeldas do.
Some of them do, but not many of them. I mean, Zelda's very formulaic in how it's done, but it doesn't feel like, okay, this is just a sequel to that last year's game, like a lot of Call of Duty's out.
Yeah, and the thing is, Zelda games aren't all necessarily sequels. A lot of them are prequels. And the whole time on Zelda,
it got complicated.
You can make, like, it makes sense if you actually think about it in your mind which one goes where, except for the first Zelda. No one knows where the hell that one goes.
Well, that one's down at the end.
So they say.
So that's what the official timeline says.
For now.
For now. They're allowed to rewrite it.
Yeah. And Zelda's like, you are Link in each game, but you are a different Link. You are basically a reincarnation of the hero. You are the hero of time. You are the hero of Hyrule. You are the chosen one to wield the Triforce of Courage.
Right.
Master Sword. Zelda, same there. Always reincarnated, always wields the Triforce of Wisdom. Ganon
is normally the same guy.
Yeah, he's not always reincarnated.
No,
he either gets sent to the Dark Realm and somehow finds his way back, or he is in fact born again, since he is a Gerudo, and somehow they only have a male every 200 years.
I thought it was 100, but I haven't played Ocarina of Time.
I think it's 200 years. Every 200 years have a male. Which I gotta ask, how do they reproduce? Like, do you get pregnant and stay pregnant for 100 years and then just pop out an evil baby?
I couldn't tell you. It's just
I don't.
The Gerudo, and just the entire thing is just kind of weird.
They're an Amazonian race that do give birth to males, but they apparently live for a long, extensive time and do have mysterious desert magic. So the whole thing around them is interesting. And Mario's a guy on shrooms, so really his adventures can go on forever.
Oh, yeah. And they do a lot of things to change up Mario's formula every game. They do different things.
Oh yeah, like Mario Galaxy or Mario in Space.
Yeah,
Mario
Galaxy.
Okay, yeah, Mario Galaxy. I mean, granted, when the second one came out, it was kind of like a reboot of the whole thing, because the first one wasn't finished, and I haven't played the second one. It was interesting watching playthroughs of it, though.
Yeah, it had a lot of the same elements. That one was more a direct sequel, but again, they introduced a lot of elements to make it feel like it's a newer, fresher experience.
As long as Miyamoto makes a game, that game's going to make money because Miyamoto puts his heart and souls in these games. These games are his children.
He is good.
Now, saying that about Miyamoto, whoever the hell made Mega Man, keep making Mega Man.
That would be
Mega Man Legends 3. You promised it, and then you said no.
Kenji Inafune.
I don't. Promised it.
I know something about this. Freak. Kenji Inafune is behind Mega Man. He was still at Capcom when Mega Man Legends 3 was announced and they were working on it. He's since left Capcom, and there was a whole PR debacle where they said, oh well, no one wants Mega Man Legends 3, so we'll scrap it anyway.
Everybody wanted that game.
I
that
know.
was the only reason I was going to get a 3DS.
I know!
Mega Man Legends 3.
I know! And Inafune will have nothing to do with Capcom. He went off to start his own development studio. He's a very outspoken guy. You know, I'll give him that. He's very outspoken, but he can't do Mega Man because that's a Capcom property.
A character like Mega Man and start a whole new Mega Man world. Release that. Make them purple, make them green. I don't care. As long as it's like Mega Man, I will buy that shit.
Well, Capcom's in some weird straits with what they do, so they do weird things anyway.
Also, speaking of Capcom, Breath of Fire, make a new one.
It's been a while. I believe...
It's because one of the big guys that worked on it, I think it was one of the big guys that worked that died, and if you play all the way, watch the credits for Breath of Fire 5, Dragon Quarter, all the way to the end, you'll see in living memory of some dude who I think worked on it, or was the guy who wrote the story for.
Oh, it's hard to pick up when your writer dies.
I love Breath of Fire. It's one of the best series ever.
It was good. I played 1 and 2 and it was good.
Capcom makes hard games. Love them though. Konami makes really hard games. Jesus Christ, Konami. Anyway.
Dark Souls. Soon.
One more thing I want to say is it makes sense for Nintendo to go to software, but not... Sega went to software because they couldn't make any money doing hardware. Because nobody bought the Dreamcast, which everyone should have bought a Dreamcast. Because come on, if you didn't buy a Dreamcast, what were you buying? It's Dreamcast. And they're not suffering from the same problems that Sega did that forced them to go to software only. It's just that it makes more sense to go to software only because most people aren't impressed by their hardware, and most of their consoles seem to be more family-oriented. And granted, you're never going to stop having families unless somehow that weird thing in that one movie came around and all the guys get sterile. That'd suck. But as long as we have families, people are going to want to play Nintendo. And Nintendo either going strictly only the handheld, stop making home consoles, that's fine with me too. And they also said if Nintendo and Apple teamed up, they would be unstoppable.
They would.
That is true.
But I don't see Apple doing that.
None of them would do that because they both like to be in charge.
Yeah.
It'd be Miyamoto with the Master Sword out there. And Steve Jobs is dead. Never mind.
He is. I couldn't see Apple doing that. I mean, it doesn't fit with what they want as a company.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense what Apple wants at all.
Apple's weird. They do interesting things.
Yeah. But you gotta admit, if they did team up, Apple being the hardware and Nintendo being the software, that'd be a pretty unstoppable.
It would. Of course, you would pay $2,000 for your console, but hey, that's Apple. Let's talk about how about some Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition?
Oh yeah, everybody bought Baldur's Gate, right?
Yeah, I hope you bought Baldur's Gate 1. It was on sale, I think, on GOG during for a while there. If you haven't, buy Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2, both on GOG.com. Both for about... Actually, I think you can get them both for about $20. $15-20. But buy it! Play it! And see what RPGs come from. Because Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition is coming out on the 18th. With new content. 2 new companions. 3 excuse me, new adventures, and they claim over 400 enhancements.
Look at that grass. It looks so real. Oh my god. Look at that flower. Oh my god.
I'm not sure what these enhancements are. I don't know if they're going away from the version 1.5 D&D rules, advanced D&D rules, which it was based on, or what they're doing. Because that was kind of interesting. You could have your wizard cast healing spells because they're in a necromancy school, and he's a necromancer.
You all remember? You all played D&D before, I hope. If not, don't watch us play. We play 4E. Advanced D&D Advances hardcore.
It's hard.
Like, yeah, if you're gonna play D&D, start with 4E because 4E is so much easier than any of the other ones. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's 3.
Going back to Advanced, they're so different.
I mean, even if you go to even if 3E was very complicated in comparison to 4.
3.5.
3.5. That's what I meant.
5 should be coming out soon, which is a combination of 3 and 4. So I don't know what else.
We'll see what that does.
Yeah.
But there's always Neverwinter Nights, the MMO, which they're working on, which is based on the 4th edition rules, but in Neverwinter. So we'll see how that turns out.
D&D universe is huge. It's huge. It's huge.
We'll see.
It's huge.
We'll see. It's not BioWare or Obsidian making it, so we'll have to see.
Obsidian makes such good RPGs.
They do. They're buggy, but they are good.
Oh, speaking of which, if you have any of KOTOR 2, not the Republic 2, for PC, the fans have just released the final 1.8 mod patch of the restored content that Obsidian wasn't allowed to put in, didn't have time to put in.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was that's still in the files that's not going to be, they are not restoring. They're not putting Atris, spoilers, in the core of Malachor because that's not where the story goes. There's other little things like that in the files that point to an earlier version of the game that they were working on, and they changed the story around. They did not restore any of that content. Anything that would change the story it will not be in there. So there's the little things, but the content that was literally just cut because it was incomplete is there.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is good. I mean,
the HK manufacturing facility. You wouldn't believe how foreshadowed that was. I mean, when I first played KOTOR 2, it was so heavily foreshadowed. I was like, my god, when is this going to happen? And I got to the end of the game and I was like, did I miss a trigger event somewhere? Did the game bug out? Did I just not trigger something? Because I didn't end up there.
The thing about KOTOR 2 is not so much like the gameplay, like the end of the game. That's such a bittersweet ending.
It was.
What happened? What happened, yo? I'll get KOTOR 3. I'll pay for it. I
don't think we're gonna get that. We got Knights of the Old Republic, I'm not Knights of the Old Republic as the MMO, so that's about as close as we're gonna get. And I'll admit, it's very well written. It fits very well with the style of Knights of the Old Republic. Just don't play a Jedi class. They're pretty boring. Sticking light sticks into things and they don't die.
Well, see, the thing is, that's what happens when you play an MMO.
Yeah.
Like, same thing if you play the tabletop version of, it's just, Star Wars. It's all Jedi or no Jedi. It's generally the rule, because the GM will always set up stuff for the Jedi to do that only Jedi should be able to do. But at the same time, if you have Jedi, rogues, and all the other crap, if everybody decides to attack a Sith Lord, odds are it's going to go down, even though it's supposed to be a fight against the Jedi. I mean, when I played it, I was a Bothan, and I was a Bothan Force-sensitive rogue. I didn't actually become a Jedi or anything. Oh, Force-sensitive, that was good enough for me. Force-sensitive, I didn't have to go to the light side or dark side, I drove the ship.
Yeah.
I was the only one that didn't die in that adventure, mind you. The only one that didn't die.
Because you just drove the ship. You were the Han. You were. I can't even say you were Han Solo because you just drove the ship.
I shot when someone got near the ship. It was my ship. I bought that ship. I earned that ship.
So you're very similar to the smuggler I've been playing in the Old Republic. She loves her ship. Oh,
is Old Republic on free to play?
No, but it is free to play up to level 20, I think, which is like the second planet.
I might pick it up and try it out then.
It's pretty good overall. It's just the legacy system's not yet been... Actually, it's been fully implemented, but you have to at least reach level 50 on one character to unlock that race for all species. Among other little benefits and perks like that. They want you to... Okay, continue.
Go.
No, you.
There are a lot of things going free to play lately, but not WoW.
Well, that's because they know they still have, I think the last account was still around 10 million subscribers, and probably, hopefully, the last expansion of that stupid game.
I think the end is soon.
I think it will be.
Now,
I mean, there's so much competition coming out now. That's not push button and see attack.
I tried WoW once, and I couldn't get into it. I played Horde and Alliance, I think.
Yeah.
Horde and Alliance. I tried several different races, several classes. I didn't like any of it. I could not get into WoW. Go get me 15 wolf pelts. Okay. Here, go get me 30. Okay. What are you doing with these? Why do you need so many? And how come one wolf gave me 20 and that one had none? How does that wolf not have a heart? What?
Yeah, the best, when I played WoW, it was literally shortly after Cataclysm came out, and the best parts were the two new races, because they started incorporating good quality storytelling and cinematic within those two races. All the others, boring. Orcs, boring. Humans, even more boring. Worgen, halfway interesting because they're wolves that wear top hats and there's a pretty cool story associated with it. Goblins, okay, goblins are just nuts.
There was a time, I'm not sure if it's still going on, that people could actually host private servers for WoW, and you could actually play without paying because how some of those private servers were set up. And if I could figure out how to do that, I honestly would probably prefer playing WoW privately in a private server with just a few people rather than everybody everywhere and not wanting to talk to anybody. I'm not social when it comes to MMOs. I'll help people if they need help or getting started and stuff. I've done that in several MMOs, mostly Fliff with some people, but I'm not a social MMO player. When I play the game, I will tank everything, even if that's not what my class is meant to do.
Yeah.
That is just the kind of player I am. MMOs are good for creating a community of players that people will get into, but at the same time, for those people who are good at the game, will be complete assholes to everybody else.
Well, that's because they've gotten good at it. They've got a skill level that they think needs to be tailored to, and then you have the people who are really, I can't say not skilled, they just don't care. And so they feel they're tailored to, and so you have to... And this is the problem with WoW, is that it's tried to tailor to the guys who have so little skill and they don't care to have any skill, and then there's the people who are just so good, and they try and cater to both, and it has literally created a whole bunch of problems within the game.
See, if they're going to do it, cater to them up until like level 10 or so. That gives you time to learn your character and learn your class and all that. If you don't know what you're doing by level 20, stop playing, choose a different class or something. Yeah, you're having fun, but if you're having fun, only play with your friends. Oh, they'll still yell at you if you mess up, but those assholes out there, they will rip you to shreds.
Oh, yeah.
And these assholes are people who live at home with their parents, probably in their late 40s, acne still, living in their basement.
Less than you would think. But
yeah, I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I know. I know what you're saying.
Don't be an anonymous asshole on the internet. If you're going to be an asshole, at least show your face.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can find you.
And kill you.
Oh.
Well, that maybe.
What happens is okay, but we will find you.
You mean that Zoom.
We will find you.
Yeah. So, that's a little bit of a WoW rant. Talked about.
MMOs in general.
Yeah, MMOs in general.
Let's start KOTOR 2. That will start with KOTOR 2. I don't know how it went.
Yeah, KOTOR, the Old Republic, MMOs, it just rolls all together and rolls downhill. You know what they say?
Obsidian.
Yeah, we started with Obsidian and went to BioWare and then...
Oh, right, you were talking about Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, we were talking about Baldur's Gate, and then... so
like, how?
It just snowballs. So, that's alright. Let's talk about Bethesda a little, I think.
Oh, yeah, because the new DLC for Skyrim's coming out. Blood something?
Dawnguard, and it's only been announced for the Xbox.
What?
They have not announced it for PC, they have not announced it for PS3, and there's no information about when any of those are coming out.
To be fair, if they put it on Xbox, the modders, the whole modding community for the PC will somehow remake it for the PC in a mod.
I know they will, but here's the problem. I realize this is probably a timed release. Tell people that. If you're going to release it a month early on the Xbox, tell them that. They get angry if they don't, especially considering people have poured so many hours into Skyrim. They want to know. They want this.
Yeah.
I mean, I dumped over 100 hours into it, and I never got past level 15! Out of 85!
Starting!
That's because that's because I suffer from continual start-overitis! Or continual start-over syndrome.
I'll make a character, and then I'll just level up one thing, and then I'll go on with the story, and I'll just level up one thing, and then I'll go on with the story. Like, I got my smithing all the way leveled up before I did any of the story. I didn't care.
That must have took a while.
This.
That must have took a while.
This. Ooh, I can make this.
That must have took a while. And a lot of money.
I think like 20 hours of my gameplay was smithing.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. What else do we have? Well, I've got one last thing. I'm not sure what else you got.
Let me go first.
Right.
I have a bunch of GameStop stuff that's going back months. This is like
he really doesn't understand the GameStop, so
it's weird what they do.
Oh yeah.
This is starting was posted like 2 days ago. GameStop is going to start selling secondhand digital copies.
Right.
They have the technology for it and all the research for it is based in Europe because in Europe it was recently decreed that it is protected to sell you're allowed to sell your digital copies to resell them. See, the thing is, to me, is just my mind. If I understand they need more things to sell because more people are going towards digital copies and such, and you can download DLC and stuff off their website. But if you're going to get a game and you're going to resell it later, get a box. Don't get a digital copy. Because digital copies are, I want this game, I'm going to buy this game. If I have a digital copy, I will not lose this game, like Steam.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it makes sense to me. But if you're going to get a digital copy and then just sell it later, that seems like a waste of 1, space on your computer and 2, money. Just get a box copy. I mean, if you bought the game and you didn't like it, there are ways you can get extended demos of the game for your computer and see a good way into the game how much you like it, if you're willing to pay for it or not, instead of, oh, I beat this game already, I'll get rid of it. Granted, I never get rid of my games ever. I've lost games. I've never willingly sold one or given one as a gift or anything. I keep all of my games, all of them.
See, I've sold some games mainly when I'm low on cash, and there's been one game I really want. I have regretted it, especially especially my Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. I regret selling that one.
I mean, look at this. This is Descent 2. This is a really old game. You could only run this on DOS.
Yeah.
I still have this.
Yep.
I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I mean, it comes with the free trial of AOL of AM. Come on, America Online. Who doesn't need that?
Oh
AOL.
yeah. AOL.
Free trial. Those days.
Oh yes, the old days back when you would get 60 minutes of free internet.
Yay! It's slow. It takes me 60 minutes to load one page. Crap.
But that was back in the old days. Back in the old days around Chex Quest. Oh, I remember that.
I miss the sounds of dial-up.
Yeah, I remember that.
You can't take any phone calls when you're on dial-up.
Nope.
Somebody answer the phone and just stop.
Yes, the good old days of dial-up.
I mean, the best thing with dial-up is play RuneScape, but even that's changed so much in the past.
Yeah, you can't play that over dial-up anymore. They've changed that horribly. So.
Last time I played RuneScape, they added voice acting, and I said nope.
Well, they're updating the combat of it, so. Don't know.
How are you gonna update the combat when you click?
It's a combat.
Click.
It's a combat update, is what they're doing. So. We don't know what it entails. They just had a beta for it, so.
But redistribution of digital copies is stupid in my mind.
Well, they have to do something. They're brick and mortar stores.
They're doing so much other stuff though, but and they're also starting to sell Steam vouchers. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Get on Steam, and that doesn't make any sense to me. They're also now doing Gamefly bashing them because they don't do them. I'm gonna start providing phones.
Mhm.
Phone services like really GameStop. Didn't you guys just come out with the tablet?
Mhm.
And I saw something about them also start to sell Apple MacBooks. Like,
yeah, you can trade in your old iPod for cash. Well, not cash, but for value towards another game. Didn't you know that?
It's just what. I understand the used game whole thing's going down since digital distribution of games and all this other stuff, but dude, if you want to guys start going to other stuff, then go into other stuff. Don't maybe become more of an empire than just we're selling digital copies of games now. Start, I don't know, maybe start making your own games. That's a thought.
I think they made one.
There are tons of indie game developers out there, and I think every month there's an indie game challenge where developers have X amount of time to make a game.
I think so.
I think this month was FPS.
The wasn't the 7-day FPS. That was a while ago.
Oh, I'm thinking about something. But if you guys could maybe start funding some indie game developers and start selling those in your stores, that help your guys with revenue and stuff. Why this whole mobile phone, tablet, app book, digital download, and they won't accept GameCubes anymore because GameCubes are officially collector's items now.
Yes, but they will still accept PS2s because PS2s are everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Everyone has a PS2. Didn't you know that?
I got mine right there. Ever since my old fat PS2, I messed up when I was cleaning it. And I just messed up one little thing. I bought 2 or 3 Slims after that because they're all messing up.
Yeah,
which is sad.
Slims are notoriously bad for that, actually, if memory serves.
Oh, they mess up so easy, but the fixes are so cheap.
Oh yeah, because they were so mass produced.
They'll charge you $50 to fix something that would cost 10 to do on your own. I understand labor charges, but seriously, if I can do this so easily on my own, screw your $50. If you need me to do it, I'll do it for $10. You buy the part, and I will do it for $10. Granted, I got a silver one. I don't understand why they made silver. Oh, another thing. This is hilarious. The GameStop's doing. You can get a gold PS3 and Xbox 360 controller only through GameStop.
Oh yes.
Why? Why would you want that? I mean, I understand that.
E-Peen! Which will get you banned from certain forums. EA's in particular.
There's so many controllers you can get out there that, or you can just paint one your own. Why buy a gold one? Unless it's actually gold plated, then it's like, okay, that'd be cool.
No.
Actually, a gold plated controller.
That would be cool, but no, it's not gold plated.
If I ever get rich, I'm getting a gold plated NES.
That would be awesome.
NESs are still made today. Not so much by Nintendo, but they're still made.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy NES, SNES, Atari combo consoles that are like, this is cool.
Oh yeah. Stuff you can't do with anything later than that. Because anything later than that, you have to start. Well, there's a whole bunch of other proprietary software involved. Whereas with those, it's more. It's easier to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
back then they had a thing called Game Doctors to help you play other region and other older games on like newer consoles and stuff. But still, that's cool.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I'm probably gonna pick up a NES SNES combo thing at some point.
Yeah, I've been meaning to look into that one too, but because I don't know when our old SNES is gonna die. This is our second one we've had, and we were just lucky because the guy we got it from had one. If he hadn't had one, it's like, well, then we just don't have one, and that would have been sad.
And this reminds me of something that someone said to me on my first video ever was a game rant, and some guy said, "Well, how are you gonna play old games with an emulator? Buy a freaking system, dude. They're not expensive.
No,
they're like I think $30 for an NES SNES combo." Top loader, which can play all region games. That's, dude, buy that.
But there will come a time when the cartridges start to fail. I mean, your batteries will start to fail. You'll either need to take it apart or you can't save. That does happen.
And you can fix that
Oh,
as long
you
as
can.
you know what you're doing.
Oh, you can, but there are reasons why people do it. I mean, I can tell you the reason BSNES, one of the emulators I've used, why he created the emulator. His emulator, which was a high requirements emulator, was to document how the SNES worked. It literally follows as close as possible strictly to what the SNES could actually do. So he did it to document how it worked, and he's also trying to document all the games. He means manuals, he means boxes, he means front covers, how it looks. He's trying to curate a digital library of this stuff for future generations so they can see it.
Yeah.
And another
interesting thing about SNES and NES emulators is the Game Genie. All games and game companies used to make their games save in a certain format, different formats, but the Game Genie saved in the specific format, which is used today for the emulated games, the .s whatever, SFW or SWF, whatever it is, for the game files and the saves. That format is what the Game Genie used to do. And the Game Genie was basically an emulator, which you plugged into your NES and NES and allowed you to play multi-region games instead of actually having to modify your NES on its own. Which there are very few consoles nowadays that aren't region locked.
Yeah, I believe the PS3 is the only one right now that isn't.
Yeah, I don't think the Wii is region locked actually.
I don't know. I know the 360 is,
yeah,
but the PS3 isn't.
And the PS2 was, but really it's just a switch you gotta flip in it, and it's not region locked anymore. Which I don't even know why.
They had to try something.
It's a Switch. Who was gonna find that? It's a Switch. You flip it and not region lock, can play any game.
Who knows what that engineer was thinking that day? But let's talk about a little bit about Zynga. Did you know they started being publicly traded?
Yeah. Wasn't their stock like $10 A pop?
It was started at $10 and all-time high of $15.91. And you know what it's selling for right now?
$2.
$3.17.
I was close.
Because, and this is what's really interesting about Zynga, because they released all this information because they had to. It's a risky company.
Yeah.
They rely on a very small percentage of their players to run their entire business. Small amount of players that all their revenue comes from those small players, and they have to constantly keep making literally the exact same game with just a different look to it to keep these people spending money.
If you guys don't know who Zynga is, they made Angry Birds.
No, they didn't make games.
Isn't that Zynga?
No, I think that was Roxio.
Oh,
but
they made Farmville.
Farmville, and all its other stuff. Popville and all the other stupid, literally pallet tops.
All those Facebook games. That's
pretty much them or PopCap, and PopCap's a lot less. Zynga does not innovate. They don't even iterate. They just literally say, "Here's the code. Let's slap a new coat of paint on it and say it's a new thing," to try and get more money.
Facebook wanted to buy Zynga to help them out financially, I think.
Yeah.
And increase their whole revenue. And Zynga said, "Screw you. We can do this on our own," basically. And they're gonna start pulling their stuff from Facebook. I'm pretty sure, because Facebook's dying community.
Even though it's much larger than Google Plus, is actually starting to die down significantly.
Yeah. I mean, Google Plus didn't have that big of a surge when it started. I mean, I have Google Plus, but that's because I don't like Facebook. It's not because I've never liked Facebook. I have Google Plus. I don't have as many people on there. Constant notifications and all that. No, it's fine for what I use it for.
Mm-hmm.
But Zynga, they seem to be making some stupid business decisions. Like
they've always made stupid decisions.
But the biggest thing was the big screw you to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, dude, they want to help you and increase both your revenue. I mean, Facebook starting to sell stock was a little weird, but still, you're both companies. You can both benefit from each other. Why are you saying screw you to the people who help give you your biggest revenue? Because all your games are there.
Mm-hmm.
They made you what you are today, pretty much.
They literally did. Them and all the programmers you've literally ripped off because you literally steal their game and say, oops, we don't want that. Here, we just made this thing that looks exactly like your game, functions the exact same way, and even uses some stolen art that we got from your game, and it's your game, but with a coat of paint, and we don't have to pay you for it.
Weren't they sued over a game, I think it was Tiny Tower or something like that?
Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one. I mean, they literally stole art from that one. That was ridiculous.
It's like, what are you guys thinking? Are you stupid?
Yes, they are.
Are you guys run by a Magic 8 Ball? Is this the right thing to do? Outlook looks good. Alright, let's do it. They'll never know. Magic 8 Balls don't make good business decisions, by the way. I mean, it's a dihedral die. Octahedral? 8-sided die?
8-sided. D8.
Yeah. Octahedral die inside a ball full of water and black ink.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Now the Magic Meatball, that's the way to go. That one's always right.
Yeah. A former ex-employee of Zynga. Oh, and this is brilliant. Recalls the CEO of Zynga saying, "I don't effing want innovation. You're not smarter than your competitor. Just copy what they do and do it until you get their numbers."
What?
Zynga in a nutshell.
Was that dude raised by Nazis or something?
It's not the first time I've heard that, so it's...
That's stupid, and it's like, we will become greater than you by copying you. We will integrate you into us, and you will be us. Then we will be awesome because we are you and you are us.
I guess Zynga's never made a lot of sense to me.
I know, but just straight up saying something like that is stupid. You never know who's listening.
Like apparently the CEO said it to a former employee. So it's, I mean,
they don't seem to have good employee. What's the word I'm looking for?
Appreciation.
Yeah.
Retention.
Didn't they like used to hire a bunch of people, get like everything they need for the game, then hire them, then fire them? I mean.
Yeah.
They get everything for the game, and then they fire them, so they wouldn't get any money off the game, and then they just finish the game without them after the person who came up with the game and did most of the work for the game did everything, and then just like,
that would not surprise me.
From the company aspect, what they're doing is
suicidal.
It worked, but you're just getting caught now, and you're doing stupid. From a humanity aspect, they're all assholes.
Yeah.
At least the CEO, he's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why you want to work for him to make money, but at the same time, if you're trying to work with him to make your own game, don't, because they'll make your game, and you won't get upset of it, because they'll fire you right before the game releases.
Unless you're occasionally something like Draw Something. They've somehow stuck around and made some money through Zynga.
Draw Something's dying out, though. That was huge for like 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then like not many people play anymore.
Well, that happens from time to time.
I mean, I saw so many reviews and stuff on it. Like, oh, that's cool, but it seems like it's getting boring pretty fast. And it is. It's gotten boring. Nobody wants to. Well, not nobody. I'm pretty sure people still play it, but yeah, it's not as fun anymore.
Yeah, you can only draw Batman in so many unusual ways, I suppose.
I'm Batman.
But so Zynga, they're evil. They're bad. They're probably going to be going under here soon. I won't miss them.
They're stupid assholes. That's the whole. That's the black and white of it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go under, and then the CEO is going to have his evil maniacal laugh and start up a new company, and then do the same stuff.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he's going to say, "What happened? We copied until we got their numbers. Why'd we die? It's because you didn't innovate." I mean, let's
copy.
And let's talk about innovation and iteration for just a bit. Let's talk about a game series that's had a good amount of sequels, Mega Man.
Yes.
If you look at each of the Mega Man sequels, I mean, regardless of what they are, excluding some in the middle where in the NES where they literally were suffering from sequelitis and literally no iteration happened, there's always been a little something new.
The 2 8-bit ones that just came out.
Yeah, there's always been something new. Something unusual, something, an addition to, a tweak here, a thing there. I mean, let's look at the jump. Let's look at what the jump to Mega Man X was. The things that it did so much different. I mean, you could wall jump.
Yeah, you could wall jump. You could dash now. Well, I think you could dash. I don't remember.
You could slide.
Yeah, you could slide, and you got Charge started in Mega Man 7, I think.
I think it might have been 4. Actually, Mega Man 4.
But anyways, okay, so many changes. Like, okay, this is still Mega Man. It's just different Mega Man. He's upgraded, and then when they altered that to Mega Man Legends, this is Mega Man in a new 3D world, and he can do all this other new stuff. And then when they transitioned that into RPG-like games, like the Mega Man Network, Mega Man Star Force, this is Mega Man, and he can still do the stuff that he used to do, but he can also do this stuff now, and you can do this to change how you want your Mega Man to be. So he can either be really powerful, really fast.
And even in the individual sequels, I mean, I've played Mega Man Battle Network 1. It was decent. 2 was better.
Oh yeah, there
were improvements and changes and innovation within it. And if you don't do that as a game company, if you don't always strive to make your next product better, even if it's a sequel to the previous game, if you don't strive to make it better, you're doing it wrong.
Another Mega Man example is the Star Force games. I think there's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
The first one relied heavily on the stylus, and it's like The second one, you don't ever have to use a stylus for anything, which is like, oh my god, thank you. But it relied more on the whole friendship aspect of it, where you're supposed to make friends and sometimes connect with other ones to help you unlock certain things in the game, because they're trying to make it social. Oh, and the Mega Man GX, XY, GX, X...
Z?
What? No, it was...
ZX.
ZX, yeah, the Mega Man ZX ones. Those were... From the first one was pretty good, the second one was awesome!
Oh, ZX Advent was brilliant.
It was just, Make more Mega Man games!
I don't think we will.
Forever!
I don't think we're going to see another Mega Man game ever. Because Inafune is gone.
But Mega Man.
I don't think we will.
Mega Man.
Mega Man.
It's Mega Man Dreamcast. Dreamcast Mega Man game. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it. Do it.
Make Mega Man Legends 3 for the Dreamcast.
Do it. Oh my god, do it. That would make the Dreamcast huge again, and then PlayStation would go die, and then Dreamcast will rule the world.
You just love your Dreamcast.
Yes, I do. And I still regret selling it, and someday I'll have a new Dreamcast. I will. I will buy a Dreamcast again one day.
Yeah.
I'll buy 5.
If you have to.
Well, no, just in case. One's for show, one's to never take out of the box, one's to play games, and one's to record games, and one's just to keep around in a rotating case so everybody knows the Dreamcast. It's the Dreamcast.
It's the Dreamcast.
And you will, generations to come, they will find the ruins of our old land, and they will see that Dreamcast there, and they will worship it as though it was the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
If you insist. I think that's all the time we have for today, unless you had something else.
No, most of my stuff is how stupid GameStop's being.
Well, that's because they're GameStop.
Oh! There was one thing I saw. It was more of a short film thing about the future of gaming. How you know how a lot of things are starting to be retina driven, like by your eyes. This was gaming. It was a thing called Sight. It was like the future of gaming is going to be your eyes. Like games controlled by your eyes, by your vision. Like that's interesting, but at the same time, I would rather gaming be turned into more of a holodeck kind of thing. Like, have you seen? If you don't know what Star Trek is, what the hell are you doing on the internet?
Oh yes. Well, yeah.
Gaming is changing, and technology is going more towards convenience, so you don't have to use your hands so much. It's like Retina displays and those Google Goggle glass things.
Augmented reality.
Yeah, the things are driven more by the eyes, but I think I'd rather have more of a physical virtual reality, if that makes sense. Like not one I can only see, but one I could feel, like Star Ocean. At the beginning of that, Star Ocean 2, 3, whichever one was the PS2. At the beginning of that game, there's a whole VR room where they like wear armors and stuff. It actually feels heavy. I would love it if gaming went from what it is now into that, which wouldn't be hard of a transition to make it so.
We're just kind of in that awkward state right now where it's kind of like that's a possibility, but the technology's not there yet to be fully there.
And at the same time, we're trying to go more towards this instead of what this was.
We've got possibilities open to us again.
Yeah. But at the same time, let 3D die. I mean, I understand for this thing I'm talking about, 3D would have to be there, or holograms, which, come on, holograms, get work on them, please, holograms. I would love holograms. But, no, 3D is like, it was cool back when it started. Back in the 60s or something, when everybody walked around with those red-green glasses, that was cool. Nowadays, not so much. You know why? I wear glasses, and 3D glasses don't fit over glasses.
Not really well, no.
And I know you're gonna say, well, a lot of people just say, well, why don't you just get contacts? Because I wear glasses.
I don't want contacts. That'd be ridiculous.
I mean, these are transitions, man. They turn the sunglasses. I don't have to buy new glasses for that. I don't want to be poking my eye every day to be able to see.
And then you have to worry about the little bit of dust that gets under there, and you go like, and you then take the little saline solution, and then you can pop it back in, and it's still in there!
I mean, so what if I have to get new glasses every couple of years? My eyes are getting worse. That's because I do stupid stuff in general, not because of the glasses. And contacts aren't that good for your eyes either. Still, that's arguable. We're not gonna talk about that though.
No, I think we're gonna...
Future gaming, less 3D, more augmented, but not 3D with your eyes. Come on, man. We have people getting overweight and you're blaming games, and make games more interactive and don't make them the Kinect.
The Kinect was a horrible piece of hardware.
Yeah.
It had a potential, but it hasn't lived up to that potential because of how it was designed.
But don't worry, the 720 is supposed to come Kinect already in it and be better and no.
If it's a better form of the Kinect, maybe. If the Kinect really gets some good games.
Here's what you do: combine the technology for the Kinect and the technology for the PlayStation Move, and then it'd be better. Just combine those two things, and it'd be cool and better, and not the Wii.
Most definitely not the Wii.
Yeah. Nothing against the Wii. I just hated using that for every game. I mean, that was the whole main selling point of the game, but I still hated it.
Have you ever played Skyward Sword? I hear that was probably the best.
I have not played Skyward Sword yet because my friend who had it sold his Wii before I got a chance to play it. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
We'll have to do that one of these days, I suppose. I have to pick it up myself, so... But anyway, that's personal things. I guess we'll, see you next...
That's it for today?
Next
See you next week when we have a new name.
Maybe. Maybe we'll stick with this one.
Give us a name, guys. Go on. Yeah. See y'all.